And, I guess, what do we do? I mean, the anime option, you know, in every single anime, well, not every single anime, but a lot of like shonen anime, you don't give up, right? You gotta keep going, even though you lost an arm and everything looks bad. You just need to believe in the power of friendship and determination. And you gotta fight the bad guy, even though you have no chance of winning. So obviously we stand up, right? Let's do that. I put power into my right hand. I grabbed the ground and raised my half-sliced body. I see Saber's face for an instant. She looks like she's about to cry. I'm proud of myself for falling in love with her. I raise my body with one arm. My legs won't move. The magical energy that forced my body to move has depleted. The only thing remaining is my beating heart and my organs screaming in pain. NTR! That does it. I don't like NTR. I can't stand his talking anymore. I mean, yeah. But, you know, Shiro, you kinda did... You did the same thing in the very beginning. Sort of. You know, not literally as an object, but, you know, assigning, yeah, like conforming like to gender norms just on Saber, even though she's obviously like a king of knights. Or well, obviously in the beginning he didn't know that, but he knew that Saber was more than simply a normal human, you know? So anyway, obviously Gilgamesh is a lot worse. I put power into my right arm. Is there metal in it? With a creaking noise, my body reacts to my wishes. I get up on one knee. I put power into my body. As I do so, the things I need to live flow out. Saber's voice is almost insulting. She's a long way away. From a distant place, she's watching me in vexation. I ignore it and keep trying. Saber's voice is just a burden. Not my body nor Gilgamesh, but Saber is my greatest enemy now. Because if she objects to an expression like that, my mind will die. Finally, my knee finally has strength, so all that's left is to stand. Saber's voice. Damn. If she interrupts me anymore, I'll get mad even at her. How can she say such selfish things without knowing how I feel? Can we really? Mr. One-Arm Shiro?
私の身などどうでもいい。そんなものより、あなたは自身の命を第一にするべきだ。
She sounds like she's begging. My mind almost collapses, thinking that I'm making her sound like that. But still.
俺にはセイバー以上に欲しいものなんてない。
I can't accept her words. Saber looks at me in astonishment. I don't know why she looks like that, but I remember. She told me I was a fool who didn't know the value of his own life. I think she's right. It's too conceited for someone who can't even think about himself to try to help someone else. That's just complacent happiness, and it's an unstable happiness for the other party. The most important person is yourself. That kind of person probably can become happy and share their happiness.
俺は確かに自分の命を感情に入れてない大バカだ。
I was wrong about what's most important for me. Since that day, that seat has been empty. But I'm grateful for that abnormality, because in that empty seat is sitting a person I want to save from the bottom of my heart.
けどな、セイバー。もし俺が自分の命が一番大事だったとしても変わらない。きっとそれ以上にセイバーは綺麗なんだ。お前に変わるものなんて俺の中には一つもない。
That makes me realize I didn't feel sympathy for her. The girl I saw in my dream. She fought alone and died alone. I thought she was unrewarded, but at the same time, I was charmed by her. I just thought she was beautiful. She pulled out the sword and ran through her life without looking back. Her life itself was so brilliant. So I have to protect her, so that you, all alone, won't be engulfed in darkness in your last moments. That's right, so that in your last moments, on the verge of your death, so that you can be proud of your life. My doubts disappear. My path is so clear. What a romantic confession, as we both are near death. After I say that, I regret apologizing to her. But I had to say it. I wanted to say it now at this moment, because there would be no impurities mixed in my words. I hear her gasp. I wanted to turn around and see, but I won't since I can't really see anymore. I get up. I can still fight if my heart is beating. My magical energy is my life. As long as my heart is beating, I'll keep recreating her sword.
よく立った。で、その後は何があるのだ?
I can bleed on you. I feel a burning heat on my right hand. Perhaps because I'm close to death, I remember 10 years ago. It's a terrible illusion. My body feels like it's still in that fire, reaching out for life. I raise my right hand and say that.
たわけ、誰が貴様の許しを得るか?
The enemy raises his sword. I hear Saber's voice from behind me. I ignore it, and using my remaining magical energy, I project the sword once more. And I'm stopped by that light. Even though it's not as strong as Excalibur, the light that can burn away everything it touches is coming for me. Feeling the heat in my body, I don't think about my death, but about Saber behind me. She'll be dragged in like this, so I have to at least protect her. I said I protect Saber. Yes, I wanted to protect her. She's strong, but at the same time, she could have broken down at any moment, so I have to hold steady. She's like a drawn sword, so I have to help her so she doesn't get hurt. And then, before I realize it, there's something like a sword in my right hand. Nani? Whose voice was that? The hesitation is only for an instant. At the same moment, the Golden Knight, the absolute victor, retreats. Saber takes my hand. The rising light stops. Right beside me is Saber. Right before me is Gilgamesh, opening his eyes and bleeding. What happened? Well, Shiro doesn't know. I don't know what happened. But I know this is a repeat of the battle against Berserker. Saber used something I made and defeated Gilgamesh's sword. A light pushed back his light and must have injured him, who is unscathed up to now. A frighteningly murderous intent. It feels like he needs to kill everything he sees in order to calm down. But the Golden Knight leaves silently. Huh? I don't even have time to be surprised. I don't know why he left, but even my fading mind knows that the battle is over. My knees give away. All tension disappears, and my body falls to the ground. Saber instantly supports me. With Saber supporting me, I look down at my body. I let out a gasp. My wounds are so bad they cannot be treated. My body, cut from my left shoulder, should have died instantly. I must be barely alive because of that healing power, but it must have its limits. My body is almost split in two. I'm sure nothing will be able to fix my body now. I can't even tell if I'm still breathing or not, and my consciousness is starting to fade. The end is near. But the fortunate thing is about Saber. I have a fatal wound, but it seems Saber is just fatigued. She's unarmed now, and her wounds are completely healed. So, even if I retire now, Tosuka should be able to do something. That sound again. A sound as if my bones are creaking is coming from my body. I look down at my wound. Didn't we see this before? Like he died when he jumped off the roof and stuff? And that was so tense. Thirsty, I gotta drink some water. Yeah, we saw this before when he jumped off the roof and, well, technically he died. Are we gonna get another bad end or something? I thought we won though, so. There are many swords. What look like the blades of swords are layered on top of each other and crowding together to connect my separated body, making that sound. I feel dizzy. It feels like every bone in my body, every muscle in my body is made out of swords. Oh, when Rin said our attribute is blades, were we literally made out of blades? There's no such thing. Must have been my imagination, as my body is just fine. As proof of that, my separated body is starting to connect, and my cuts are healing quickly. It's more like restoration than healing. This is more creepy than strange. Well, I mean, I guess we're okay now? It seems I'll be saved. But this is too...
よかった。この分なら死ぬことはなさそうですね、マスター。
I hear Saber's voice by my ear. It's really close by.
いや、それは助かるけど。俺の体、一体。
Trying to finish, I'm assailed by dizziness. Then, my body is enclosed by soft arms. Now we're just staining our clothes in blood. It's gonna be hard to clean off. Anyway.
いいえ、私にはわかりました。傷が癒されるのは当然です。
I can't stay conscious. It's because I produce too much magical energy, and my tired mind wants to sleep right now. How strong is she? Saber wraps her arms around me and holds me tight.
やっと気づいた。シローは私の鞘だったのですね。
She says so in a deep, seeping voice. The feeling is so comfortable that my remaining consciousness fades away. I'm glad to be saved, and I let my body sleep. But before that, I complained to myself that it would have been more perfect if our positions were reversed. Be glad that you're alive, Shiro. Just be glad about that. I guess we survived. Amazing. That was the right choice. But let's see what happens if we just don't get up. I mean, I assume Gilgamesh wins, and he takes Saber away, and then we just die, right? So, well, let's see. Let's not stand up. Let's not do the cliche shonen anime protagonist thing and just give up. Let's just give up, you know? The laughing voice approaches me. As soon as I put my hands down to get up, lightning runs through my spine. Every fiber and cell in my body is telling me I can't fight anymore. I can't get up. Even if I do get up, I can't beat that guy with my body like this. As soon as I admit that, my body stops trying to stay alive. The power that was protecting him, Yashiro, up to now starts to fade. My consciousness clouds up. With my dying mind, my life ends as well. Ow, did we just die? That was quick. It's like, let's give up. Blech. That's pretty morbid. Marvelous.
シローのおバカカッターレ信じられないであります。まさかこのタイガー道場にやってくるヘビーゲーマーがいるなんて。
Look, I was just curious, Ilya.
っていうか、こんなとこに来ちゃダメなんだから。
I want the tiger stamps.
早くあの金ピカをやっつけて、セイバーをちゃんと守ってあげないと怒っちゃうんだから。それでいいのか、ブルマ。ああ、チース先輩。まあ、本当は悔しいけど、ここまで来たらちゃんとかっこいいとこ見せてほしいかなって、そんなとこです。さあ、道場はここでおしまい。早く選択肢に戻ってパパーッと決着つけちゃいなさい、シロ。
Oh, that was quick. Well, it's a good thing. We can just go back to here, where we did make the right decision. And beat Mr. Goldie up. Well, we didn't beat him. We kind of like hurt him a little and then he just ran away. I don't know why, but I don't know. Well. At the end, when I did not give up, and I summoned a thing in my hand, and then Saber and I did the thing, and we hurt Mr. Goldie and ran away, and then my body healed for whatever reason, because super magic healing powers. I don't know why, but well, I see that red hill once more. A red memory. I dive deeper into her memory and realize this is the last time. These are the memories of a knight, which I have seen many times before. After becoming king and becoming the will of the country by killing her own will, her days were filled with neglect even from her trusted knights. Every time she won a battle, Artoria was made to wish for a battle she did not wish for. She continued to hide her sex, surrounded by suspicion. What awaited this isolated girl was a rebellion by one of her relatives. A young knight took over the country while the king was on an expedition. The man's name was Mordred. That knight was the son of Morgan, the sister of the king of knights, was actually the son of the king of... the knight who was the son of Morgan, the sister of the king of knights, was actually the son of the king of the knights. Okay. That kind of confused me for a moment, but basically Mordred has a right to rule because he's the son of Artoria, apparently. To start the end, Artoria could not have children as a woman. Could she not? I mean, yeah. But Mordred certainly inherited the blood of Artoria. Artoria's older sister Morgan, I'm not sure how far she went, but she despised Artoria for becoming king, even though Artoria was younger than her. Mordred was created as her other self. He served the king as a knight with an unknown father, waited for his chance to take over the throne, and finally organized a revolt. This was the battle later known as the Battle of Camlan, the final battle of King Arthur. King Arthur discovered Mordred's betrayal on her expedition and returned to her homeland with her tired troops to invade her own territory. She slashed away knights that used to serve her. She attacked the lands she once protected. A few knights that stayed with her died off, and the only ones standing in the end were her and Mordred. Their personal combat ended with the king's victory, but she did not emerge unscathed. Mordred was bound by a strong curse, so he still swung his sword even after his death and left a fatal wound on the king. That is the end of this battle, the last of her, the one called the King of Knights. It must have been painful. Come to think of it, none of her battles were painless. Every one of her 12 battles were severe, and this just happened to be the greatest wound appropriate for her end. She returned to her territory and destroyed her own army. She punished the knights who used to serve her, and the knights following her all died. And in the end, she had to kill her own son, even if he was son only in name. I cannot tell what went through her mind, but I have to wish. The lone king who tried to be king until her last moments. I wish that her last dream might be a normal dream, one that the girl called Artoria might wish for. I opened my eyes. I don't know when I got back, but I'm in my room, lying on my futon.
ああ、気がついたのですね、シロ。
セイバー、俺はどうして？
あれから今まで眠っていたのです。体の方はほぼ完治していますから、心配には及びません。
How convenient.
そうか。 それはいいけど。
Yeah, it's great. Now we don't have to live with one arm. That's like amazing. Because otherwise, if we didn't have these healing powers, we would be stuck with one arm. And that's quite, you know, quite dehabilitate. I don't know what the word is. It would not be good. What about Saber? She used Excalibur. She may not even have enough magical energy to heal herself.
セイバー、ずっと俺の手当てを。
手当てといっても汗を拭く程度です。私はリンのように人の傷を見ることはできませんから。
バカ、そんなことしなくていいんだ。今は俺よりセイバーの方が辛いだろう。
そのようなことはありません。シローに比べれば私は軽傷です。
Oh, that was a light wound? Like you on the ground and bloodied?
しかし、今のは聞き捨てなりませんね。いくら傷が塞がったと言っても、シローは死んでもおかしくない傷だったのです。今は自分の体を案じてください。
I don't know, Saber. Actually, these healing powers are quite overpowered, so... Saying so, Saber reaches for the wash bowl beside her. There's a cold towel in there. After squeezing the water out of it, she wipes my sweating body. I'm really embarrassed.
シロー、傷が痛むのですか？また熱が出てきたようですが。
熱なんか出てない。いや、そうじゃなくて。いいからセイバーも休んでくれ。今は元気かもしれないけど、エクスカリバーを使ったんだ。セイバーの方こそ休んでなくちゃダメじゃないか。そんなんじゃまた倒れちまうだろ
う。まあ、それはそうなのですが。今は私の方が元気ですから、マスターの傷が癒えるまで、私が守るのは当然でしょ
う。それはもっともな話だよ
Oh
な。
crap. I can't object if she says so with that kind of expression.
わかったよ。俺もしっかりと休むから、セイバーもちゃんと休んでくれ。セイバーが休んでくれないと、俺も落ち着いて眠れない。
それはそうですね。私とて睡眠を取らねばならぬ身ですから。
Saber nods, squeezes the cloth, and puts it on the side of the wash bowl. Now I let Saber take care of me and suppress my embarrassment.
それでは、私も先に休ませていただきます。御身、くれぐれもお大事に、シロ。
ああ。
おやすみなさい。言いそびれましたが、礼を言います、シロ。あなたが助かって、本当によかった。
Saber is smiling in the moonlight. Did it look ephemeral because of the weak moonlight? The sliding door is shut before I can find out. Ephemeral and ephemeral. Anyway. I don't know if I'm happy or lonely now that Saber is gone. I did want her to stay by my side, but that'll be a burden on Saber. And if we stay like that, it'll just be like that night. Load! I shake off the image in my head. Too many things happened today. It was only a day, but it felt like a week. A date with Saber was more troublesome than fun, and we ended up having an argument and I left Saber alone. We also almost died. And yeah. What a great way to end a date. Now I have to rest for now. I can think later. There's not only Gilgamesh, but Lancer as well, and his unknown master. We can't win unless we start over in our best conditions. It happened a few hours ago. She said something about me being her sheaf. Me being her sheaf. Sounds a little lewd. I was badly injured and about to fall asleep, so I couldn't ask her why. I can't fall asleep. Saber's dream, her resolute face in front of death and her face when she nursed me overlap each other. Oyasumi! The frailness of her smile won't get out of my head. The smile that never showed up on the girl in my dream. She says that it makes her happy when I smile. It's vexing. Why is it vexing instead of saddening? I don't know why I'm annoyed to the point of anger. I smacked the futon. I'm about to rage around because of this unknown irritation.
シロ、体の具合が悪いのですか?
I hear her worried voice from the other side of the sliding screen. I was out of breath, so it must have sounded like I tossed around because of pain.
いや、大丈夫。それよりも、まだセイバーは起きてるのか?
はい。ですが、本当にシロの方はよろしいのですか? まだ苦しいのでしたら、そちらに行きますが。
No, it's better if I go over there. Oh, no, wait, no, that's bad. Something I've kept in myself would overflow if I see Saber right now.
セイバー、少しだけ話いいか?
はい。このままでよろしければ。
We start talking through the sliding screen. Maybe it's because I can't see her, but I recall the smile I last saw on her. Saber was smiling happily. My frustration increases instead of calming down. I don't know why my body is heating up, but I need to talk to Saber. I have to say that's wrong. I don't know what's really right, but I have to tell her that I'm not wrong about this. My tongue and throat tremble. I can't turn back once I say this. I fully acknowledge it and...
もういい。いいから。お前は自分のために笑わないと。
I'm pushed by an unknown impulse and say this.
シロ、そんな、どうし...
He doesn't even need to ask. I'll keep repeating myself until you realize it.
セイバー、もう十分なんじゃないのか。お前は頑張ったんだろう。一人で戦い抜いたんだろう。なら、セイバーが幸せにならないなんて嘘だ。お前は立派に誓いを果たした。なら、このままアルトリアに戻ってもいいはずだ。
何を言うかと思えば、まだそんなことを言うのですか、あなたは。
ああ、ずっと言い続ける。そんなの惚れちまったんだから仕方ないだろう。だからセイバーは、いや、お前はアルトリアに。
I suppress my sudden fury. It's about to burst out. Saber only needs to say one thing before that.
シロ、私を困らせないでほしい。そのようなことを言われても、私は。
Her answer doesn't change. My heart aches at her determination.
シロは私の過去を知って、私の中に何度も入ってきた。私の答えなどあなたは知っているはずなのに、どうしてそこまで私に構うのです。私がどれほどの罪を重ねてきたのか、あなたは見てきたはずなのに。
Yeah, I did. She sacrificed many people in the name of the king and killed many enemies. I don't intend to ignore that or pretend it didn't happen. But still, even knowing that, I want the girl named Artoria to become happy.
それがどうした？この感情が何かは知らない。俺はただ、セイバーをこのままにしておけないだけだ。セイバーは笑ってくれ。俺はもっと、ずっとセイバーと一緒にいたい。
A childlike, unilateral confession. Is it unilateral or unilateral? I think it's unilateral. Maybe, yeah, it's unilateral. Unilateral confession. Within the silence, I wait for her answer. What is Saber doing on the other side of the sliding screen? Well, she's checking her smartphone and checking Twitter. No. Do smartphones even exist in this timeline, I guess? I don't think like the smartphones we have now, like in 2018, they weren't all that popular in Japan, right? Flip phones were a thing for a long time until they finally switched to just like touch screen phones and stuff, right? As far as I know. Are my words reaching to her?
私の答えは変わりません。王の誓いは破れない。ふさわしくなかったとはいえ、私は王として国を任せられた。その責務を果たせなかったというのに、そんな自由は許されない。
I can't hold myself back any longer because her voice sounds so sad. I don't want to hear the lonely oath to be the king instead of her words as Ortoria. I already know that. I didn't become this vexed to hear those screams. I kick my futon. In front of me is a sliding screen separating our rooms.
白。
The sound of the sliding screen feels distant. And now we smooch. My mind blanks out. Why was I so angry? Why was I so sad? Her eyes shake as if about to cry. Her gorgeous neck and slender shoulders. Her golden hair reflects the moonlight, just like when we first met. Oh my god, this is so cheesy. I'm embracing her when I notice. I embrace her so hard that I could break her, but she doesn't resist. Loud. It's different from that night. It's not as sexual, promise. I didn't feel like this back then. What a ridiculous story. I wanted to become a superhero, but I never fell in love with anyone, nor was I ever unwilling to let go of anyone.
Saber.
It feels like she'd disappear if I don't keep holding her. I don't know how long I've held her, but I finally figure out that she won't disappear and loosen up.
白、突然に何を。これは一体どういうことですか。こんなことをされても、私は。
Saber, you are the waifu in the fate route. I need to have romantic relationships with you because that's what the writer promised, I think. She moves slightly in my arms. We gotta have this really romance scene now. More romance. Her lips tremble and try to say something, but I close them with a soft touch. Her body is slightly trembling. I'm staring at Saber, but I'm not seeing anything. In its place, my lips feel Saber's kindness. Smooch. Mwah. Our lips part. Oh, well, there's no... Well, I'm pretty sure they kissed. We didn't see the CG for that, necessarily. I guess. Oh, well. I guess it's implied. That little transition there, anyway. Saber's hand on my chest pushes us apart a bit.
白、今の口づけは。
Does she want to say it's a mistake? She looks up at me with a face about to cry.
間違いなんかじゃない。何度だって言うぞ。セイバーが好きで、このまま話すことなんてできない。
I'm sorry, Shiro, but I'm in love with Rin. No.
それが嫌なら言ってくれ。俺とはマスターとサーバントの関係に過ぎないと断言して否定してくれていい。
卑怯な。そのようなことを口にしろというのですか。あなたは。
ああ、セイバーがはっきり言わない限りもう我慢しないからな。セイバーが拒まないんなら俺はやりたいようにやるだけだ。
even if it would make her temporarily forget her determination to be the king. A long silence. I keep holding her and feel her softness. She's still tense, not wanting to be embraced. All we hear are our breaths and the beatings of our hearts. Again, this is just this is cheesy romance. How many times did our hearts go doki doki? Saber slightly puts more power into the hand on my chest.
あなたの気持ちには応えられない。あなたがその正しさを変えられないように、私にも変えられないものがある。できるのは、せめて許されるとしたら。
Her pause aches my heart. She bites her lip, trembles, and says this as if to make a confession that this night is unforgivable. But still, her unresisting body and her wavering eyes tell me that only this one night. She wants to stay like this until the night ends. I raise my hand to embrace her again, but
宝具を使いましたから。白から力をもらわないと、私は戦えません。
yeah, I'm pretty sure in the other type of visual novel, or rather, well, the other version of the visual novel, which is the original one anyway, this is where they do, well, let's just say 18 plus things together. A good thing this is a real-time Noah version, so actually I wonder, what does she mean by receive energy? What are they gonna do? Because normally, to receive energy, they do the thing where they, well, anyway, what's the alternative? Her quiet voice stops me. I can't say anything. That reason is her best absolution and her biggest modish wish.
ああ、そうだったな。けど、ちゃんと動いてるのか、あれ。
And also, we need to keep this PG-13, so how are we gonna do this, Saber?
はい。今でも白からの供給は続いています。ですから、回復するためには、こうして。
We must duel. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's the I'm trying to think of something ridiculous as an alternative. I don't know. We need to hold hands. Oh no, that's worse than 18 plus. Be close to each other like this. That's the limit. This is the distance between us. A girl bound by her oath, and myself who cannot destroy her oath. Saber moves within my arms. My arms panic at her warmth. I'm painfully aware of her softness and slenderness. I'm ashamed for panicking. Saber's cheeks are red as well, and she looks embarrassed.
ですので白、今晩は共にあなたと眠らせてください。剣と鞘は共にあれば、その力を取り戻しやすい。それに、あの儀式と同じように、より心身を近づければ。
Sword and sheath, eh? Are you gonna put your sword into my sheath, Saber? Anyway. I nod back. Happiness overwhelms my embarrassment. I'm going to be with Saber until morning. We can't touch each other anymore, but we can still be close using our hearts. As in, we can't touch each other because this isn't the 18 plus version.
よかった。では、シロ。今夜は私が支度をしますので、先に部屋に戻っていただけませんか?
Are we gonna have a dragon sequence again, Saber? Are we gonna do that all over again? Anyway, Saber stands. I'm reluctant to let her go, but I can't be like this forever. I head to the sliding screen. I turn back to look at Saber as I close the screen. It feels like I'm doing something impure, so I quickly close it. You're doing something impure, alright? For some reason, I sit Japanese style on the futon as I wait. I'm going to be sleeping together with Saber. Just the thought of it causes me to dance inside my head. This is to help Saber and also to grant her small wish. Saber may be able to smile someday if we pile up such small wishes. But the battle is nearing its end. Will we have enough time?
失礼します。シロ。
And she comes in with a strap on. Anyway, the screen opens. I shake the depressing thought from my mind and welcome Saber. I turn around and see. I quietly swallow my breath. Where'd you get that dress from? Or I guess nightgown, I guess, is what you would call it? Anyway. Her white figure shows up in the darkness. With that, my agitation disappears. It's probably because she's too beautiful. My agitated mind comes to its senses and clears up.
おかしいでしょうか。この格好は。
いや、そんなことない。ただ眩しくて困ったんだ、きっと。
I murmur strange things, such as how troubling it is for a girl to be too beautiful. Saber wouldn't understand what I mean, but my mind won't move unless I say this.
そちらに行ってもよろしいですか、シロ。
ああ、うん。
I noticed for the first time how her small toes look beautiful. You have a feet fetish, Shiro? As Saber makes her way over, I draw back and spread the futon. I realize that I need another pillow, but it's too late now. Saber and I are sitting by the futon, side by side. There's only one room and one futon, but Saber's with me. I have no dirty thoughts, do you not? But my face is burning and I can't even sneak a glance at Saber.
お先にどうぞ、シロ。
Bend over, Shiro. I'm the sword and you're the sheath. Anyway.
いや、セイバーこそ先に。
No, we'll make no progress like this. I slip under the futon and then make a space for Saber. I try to give the pillow to her, but she quietly pushes it back towards me.
これはシロに。
Oh my god.
私はその腕を枕にさせてください。
She murmurs such a thing. Saber is in my arms and is surprisingly calm. I'm not hugging her, but rather she has settled in there. Well, I guess we're just cuddling. Sword and sheath. I recall Saber's words. Saber is about to fall asleep using my arm as her pillow, and she looks like a beautiful sword in its sheath. But warmth and her faint smell calms me down instead of exciting me. Saber holds out her hand. I take her hand under the futon and clasp it. We quietly fall asleep. But before that,
セイバ
I call out to the girl laying beside me. I want to ask her in the end, to hear her reply to my question.
感じますか、シロ。これなら朝までには魔力の補充ができる。これで明日からあなたのサーバントとして戦えます。
How convenient! Why don't we cuddle all the time then, Saber?
ー、セイバ
Now I imagine Ilya and Heracles cuddling.
今はそれだけです、シロ。私の役割はあなたの身を守りきり、聖杯を手にすることだけです。戦いを終わらせるまで、それ以外のことなど考えられない。
ー。それは
そうでしょう、シロ。この戦いを終わらせるために戦うと決めたのだから。
That's something I cannot argue against. If I want to do something about our problem, I have to end this war beforehand. First of all, I can't protect Saber unless we defeat that man who's after Saber. But, do we have a way to defeat the King of Heroes? Just give him pictures of us cuddling in this futon, then he'll get really jealous and kill himself now. Well, we grow quiet and stare at the darkness. How long will we like that? My tired body wants to take a rest, and my eyes start to close. But our clasped hands are warm.
Saber.
はい。考えるのは明日にしましょう、シロ。明日になれば良い案が浮かぶかもしれませんし。それに。
I would like to sleep like this for now. She says so while gently clasping my hand.
そうだな。俺もそうしたかった。
Cuddling and hand-holding? This is the most degenerate shit I've ever seen.
ええ。おやすみなさい、シロ。目を覚ましたら、またいつもの私たちに戻りましょう。
I close my eyes with her close to me. My last vision of Saber sees her smiling warmly. I don't care if that was just for this night. Right now, her hand is warm. That is more than enough for me right now as I fall into a comfortable sleep. We approach the end of this battle, without knowing if we will be able to keep our hands connected even after everything is over. By the way, did we ever cook dinner? Are Rin and Ilya still hungry? Did they order takeout or something? Because I don't think Shiro cooked dinner. I'm pretty sure. Oh well. It's the next day. I guess we spent the night with Saber. Nothing lewd though, because again, this is the censored version. Anyway.